All right, welcome in Bronco Nation. This is Chris V with another edition of Blue Turf Talk. You're not here to hear from me. You want to hear from our player today. That is Zion Washington. Zion, thank you for coming in today. How was your off season?
Sir, it's been great being around the guys. Everybody contributing in their own ways, just building up a team. Obviously trying to be better than we were last year, so it's been special.
You get some time off, get to go home a little bit.
Yeah, we got to go home after the bowl game. It was good to see the fam a little bit, and we were right back to it.
And just briefly, I just want to ask you about the end of last season. The Fiesta Bowl didn't quite end the way you were hoping. Looking back on that, what do you think you have learned and the team has learned from that experience?
We took great pride in the fact that we were on a stage like that, and everything that we worked for to get to that point is, it can't overlook that. And then obviously the result is not what we want, but you're not always going to get the results. But at the end, you'll get what you deserve. So we know that if we put in the work that we need to and that we know we're going to be right back on the stage, and the outcome is going to be different.
And as a team, you really retain most of the talent. And in this day and age of NIL opportunities, that's pretty remarkable, honestly. Why do you think that is, and how did this coaching staff kind of keep everyone in line or their focus straight?
I think it just comes down to the trust we have in our coaches here, and the trust that we have that they're going to develop us to, be the best people we can be in life. Not saying that other places can offer that, but we know for sure here that we're safe and we have bright futures if we just trust the process, and that's what we did.
Last season you were second on the team in tackles with 67 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 6 pass breakups. Really a very successful season. But coming into the offseason, what did you think and what did you work on most to improve on?
Everywhere in my game, honestly. Like I said, I'm just trying to become the best version of myself. So to do that, I've got to improve everywhere, every aspect, designate different days to different things that I know that I need to work on. And then ultimately having the brothers here with me and the coaches to guide me and make sure that I do become the best version of myself.
And, I talked about player retention. Just as hard is coach retention. And you guys really kept everybody, specifically on the defensive side. How beneficial is that to keep that continuity going into the next season?
It's great. Knowing the same brothers that you had last year, you're going to go out there and do the same thing with, bigger goals in mind. And we know what we are capable of achieving, which is even better. And then ultimately us just giving everything we have for this year that we know that is not guaranteed, and then taking advantage of every moment.
Looking at last year's roster and going into this season, you lose quite a bit at your position in particular. You lose Alexander Tubner, Oladipo, Rodney Robinson. With that much production gone, have you seen your leadership role grow a little bit?
Oh yeah, tremendously. And I'm ultimately ready for taking on this challenge. And like I said before, it just comes down to making everybody around me better, and that's only going to bring me up as well. And then I've learned great things from those guys that you just named. Those are all really good dudes that left their stamp here for sure. And they're guys that I can reach out to if I have questions, in order to get the guys to follow me.
And when you lose that much talent and production on the field, you have to see other players step into larger roles. For Bronco Nation, who hasn't seen some of these younger players, who are some of the young guys that you think that could step into a larger role this upcoming season?
All of them have been working their tail off. It's hard to put specifics on a certain player because, everybody's bought in. That's what we want from the young guys coming in. That's what we're worried about right now. Not so much of, play on the field. That will come. Now it's just working on building relationships, leaning on each other, embracing the culture, because that's ultimately what's going to take us the furthest.
And I would be remiss, and I'm sorry, you're still going to get some questions about it this season. Ashton Genty had such an amazing season, left such a large hole in this team, but How have you seen players step into that role? And when you look at the running back group, which really still has an embarrassment of riches of talent, do you think that's going to be more by committee, or is one player going to really step into that role? What do you foresee happening there?
I mean, he just left such a big impact that it's hard for anyone not to want to step up, because it's just like we've seen the image of what it's supposed to look like, what you're capable of becoming if you really put your all into it. And with that being said, there's few running backs that are able to take in that role, and that just comes with a process. You can't kind of just put it down right now. It's a process over time, getting your brother's trust and everything. But like I said, he left such an impact on everybody here, and we're just trying to achieve more.
And your specific group, the defensive back group, added, by my count, and this is just for spring ball, 5 players for the transfer portal or junior college. With them coming in having prior college experience, does that help them learn your guys' defense quicker, or is that just going to be kind of an individual thing?
I could say it helps, just because knowledge is something that everyone needs to be able to play at this level. Coming from whatever level they came from, different schools, obviously we believe firmly that this is a different program, and we're, like we said, we're built different. So it's just them being able to adjust to that, and how they adjust to that ultimately is how successful they can be.
And for the layman fan who just you hear spring camp and you hear fall camp, and we just think football practice. You're a redshirt senior. You've been through a lot of them. What is really the difference from a player standpoint from spring camp to fall camp?
I would say spring, it's more of, getting everybody on the same page, so to speak, having everybody really buy in and, have the commitment to perfect their craft and, all the little things, because spring is when you have a lot of time to really focus on what you can improve on from the last season. And then fall camp, that's when you implement everything. There's no looking back. Game one is on the way, and you better be ready for it, or else, you'll get hit in the mouth. But we won't let that happen.
Where do you want to see, as you are now undoubtedly the senior leadership here, where do you want to see the entire defense improve? And what do you want to see improved on the field against South Florida?
It just comes down to our relentless effort. Everybody's bought in, and like I said, it's the same guys that are coming back from last year, and we know what we're capable of. We've seen it put on every single week. It just comes down to the consistency in that. And we have trust for each other, and our coaches are going to do a great job to get us to the point that we need. And we all firmly believe that, which is why we are going to be so great.
Just on a lighter note, you've got spring break coming up. Any plans to relax? What's your plans for spring break?
Oh, we'll probably chill out. I don't know what we're going to do too much, get the vibes. We don't know what we're going to end up doing, but, be smart the same way.
Rest your body maybe a little bit. Rest the body. And the final question I want, and I can't thank you enough for joining me today. What do you think? Well, first off, what do you have any goals going into your senior season individually?
Kind of like I hit on before, my ultimate goal, the thing that I'm focused on most right now, is just becoming the best version of myself. So whatever that entailed comes with, I'm just going to be able to do that on and off the field, which ultimately I can look back and know that I gave everything that I was capable of giving, and that's every single day. And that's what I'm trying to grow in the most, is my consistency aspect in that. Because every single day, if I get better at this or this, at the end of the day, I'm going to reach the ultimate goal that I want. So,
and just this is the final question. This team set such a high standard for last season. Looking at the team you have now, do you think that they still have the same expectations and could play at the same level?
100%, no doubt in my mind. We know like I said, we know what we're capable of just based off of what we've done. But that's the past. We were in the same position last January looking into the future saying that we are going to be in the college football playoffs, and it happened. So, I mean, it's a belief thing, and we believe from here until that moment comes, and we know that we're going to be able to strive to reach what we want.
Well, thank you again, Zion. I can't thank you enough. Spring camp starting up on Monday. Be ready for more content, and as always, go Broncos.
Thank you.